Mr. Salber, welcome to Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty's Armenian service, and thank you for this chance. First of all, I would like to know the purpose of your visit, and I know that yesterday you have met with the new defense minister, Evgen Sarkisyan, who, as you know, doesn't have military background, is a civilian one, and you have discussed with him the tense situation on border, and you have also met with the foreign minister, Herbert Salber. Can you say what kind of topics you have discussed with these officials?
As a special representative of the European Union for the South Caucasus, I visit Armenia and the other countries of the region regularly. This is one of my regular visits. The objective is simply to get first-hand information and to have exchanges on the most recent developments. So what I exchanged yesterday with the ministers was very much in this respect. We discussed the political situation. We discussed in particular the situation of the negotiating process, which is under the auspices of the Minsk Group. It is true the European Union is not directly involved in this, but we would like to be informed about what is going on, because the European Union has an interest in a peaceful situation in its neighborhood altogether. My visit is the expression of this desire.
By the way, Mr. Salber, today we have informed that Azerbaijani military forces attempted incursion in Karabakh, and according to Armenian side, they have losses. Have you informed about this incident?
I'm not informed about this incident by any direct source. It is through you that I heard about it. This is, of course, very regrettable. We have seen since the escalation in spring that the situation on the line of contact and on the international border has been relatively calm in comparison with times before. We would hope very much that this calm situation would prevail, because it is one of the preconditions probably for productive peace talks.
Mr. Salber, taking into account the announcements from both sides, can we say that the peace settlement process is in a deadlock now? Because, as you know, the Azerbaijani president Ilham Aliyev announced that they would never grant independence to Nagorno-Karabakh, and the Armenian side described this as a self-deception. Can we say that this means a deadlock situation?
The peace process certainly is in a difficult stage, but I would not describe it, according to information that we have, as a deadlock situation. It seems to me that people are talking, that the leaders of the sides are talking. I observe that the Minsk Group co-chair countries are making a lot of efforts. We have seen a lot of travel all over the place during the summer until recently, so I have good reasons to believe that the talks are going on. I think we should make a difference between the talks themselves and public statements and public declarations that are made for whatever purposes.
By the way, a week ago, Azerbaijani leader Ilham Aliyev announced that Baku is being urged to recognize the Nagorno-Karabakh independence. Are there any pressures on both sides now?
Not that I am aware of. I do not know where this comes from. I cannot explain it, because nobody is under pressure to recognize anything.
Mr. Salber, what kind of proposals are now on the table? Because there are rumors that both sides were rejected so-called Lavrov's proposals.
I mean, if you want to know which proposals are on the table, you would have to ask the sides who are familiar with them. We as European Union are not. So we can only ask for information about them, and I would hope that the sides reveal one day what is really on the table and what is being discussed. So I have no direct insight. Of course, we can anticipate a few elements that probably are there, because these elements have been discussed in the past. Anyway, this peace process has been going on for more than 20 years now. So I would assume that all potential elements have been thought through, have been discussed, have been, in their majority, probably even been put on paper. So it is probably not a big secret which elements are there, but I would recommend that you ask those who are much more familiar with it what it is concretely.
But have you heard about Lavrov's proposals?
There are rumors.
Yes. Okay, the mediators are going to visit the region in the end of this month, and according to Mr. Borlik, they could be meeting with the presidents. And can we say that they are going to bring new proposals?
New proposals by the co-chairs, that certainly would be up to them. I would not expect too much here because, as you rightly said, proposals are on the table. They have been discussed over the summer, there is no doubt. And I'm very confident that if the co-chairs visit the region soon, these proposals will be discussed further and maybe also amended, but that is in their hands.
Mr. Salber, there is an extensive military build-up in the region, you know about it, and we have seen increased technical capabilities by the Azerbaijani side on April war, and recently we also saw that Armenia displayed advanced Iskander missile system in September. What do you think? Can we say that the both sides are preparing not to peace but for war?
Certainly they are playing or having in mind several options. And we have been observing this strong militarization of the region for decades already. Yeah? So this is not a fundamentally new thing. We know that both sides are indeed very well prepared militarily, and this is something we have to take into account. Yeah? If we assess the situation of the region. What would be our hope that in spite of this high military preparedness, we could find a peaceful solution.
And I want to talk about the role of Turkey. As you know, the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that he sees a positive role for Turkey in the conflict resolution. Would you agree to this?
I'm not sure whether this is right. I think once the solution is there, and the solution has to be found here by the sides, then one would have to see which roles can be played by others. In the ideal case, of course, I would say that the neighbors here of the region have an eminent role to play in a peace agreement, since peace, at the end of the day, also means cooperation, trade across borders, communication across borders. That would be ideally the case if a peace agreement is there, and of course neighbors would play a role there. But what the nature of this role is, it cannot be seen at this very moment.
Because you know that Armenia is against the role of Turkey in this conflict resolution.
There are different views on that, as on so many issues, but that would have to be sorted out.
And by the way, after our interview, you are going to meet with President Serge Sarkisyan. I want to know what kind of topics you are going to discuss and what will be your message to him.
The main topic certainly will also be the peace process. The chances that, as he sees it now, after all these talks that took place, this will be the main issue of the talk.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Salber, for interesting interview, and I hope to see you again here in our office.
Thank you very much.